Hi everyone. So what is the story of this number? The principal square root of 3. I might just call it root 3 from now on. The principal square root of 3 is in fact a number. It equals 1.73 yada yada yada. It goes on and on and on without a repeating pattern. So the square root of 3 is an irrational number. It neither terminates nor does it have a repeating pattern like 1/3 does, 0.333 and so forth, 0.3 bar. So in that sense, root 3 is kind of like pi. Students often remember that root 3 is about 1.73. Root 3 is about 1.73 as an approximation. And what characteristics does this number have? Well, by definition, the principal square root of 3 has to satisfy this property. It is the unique non-negative real number that does the following. When you square it, you get the radicand, 3. Root 3 is the only number that satisfies those properties. It's non-negative, we want the principal square root, and its square is 3. Notice that even though root 3 is itself an irrational number and not an integer, it does turn out that 3 itself is an integer. So when you square something like the square root of 3 or the square root of 5, you end up with an integer, the radicand. Well, what is the square of the square root of 3? Well, it's the square root of 3 times itself. When you square something, you multiply something by itself. Now, it turns out that based on the rules of radicals, root 3 times root 3 is root 9. If the radicands are non-negative, here they are, they're both 3s, then the product of roots is the root of the product. The product of the roots equals the root of the product. We have square roots here, we have a square root here. 3 times 3, when you multiply the radicands, you get 9. And what is the principal square root of 9? Well, it is 3. It's the only non-negative property, it's the only non-negative number with a property that when you square it, you get 9. So look at this. The square root of 3 times itself is equal to 3. We often use this fact when we're doing things like rationalizing denominators. So that's why root 3, when multiplied by itself, gives us a really nice number, 3, a magical integer.